Hello and welcome back to A Foreigner and Family in the Philippines. And I'm over here. I wanted to show off these haunted trees on the property. There are a lot of trees here because this is where we're planting the falcata, so we've been doing some clearing. But there are a lot of trees that you can't cut here in the Philippines. Just like where I'm from in Florida, there's some tree species that you can't cut. I know oak is one of them. You have to get a permit to actually remove an oak tree. And here there's a lot of the native tree species are endangered, so you can't cut these down, a lot of them down. And this is one of them. This haunted tree here. I'm just showing it's a massive tree. We have done a lot of clearing around it. And like this tree here is a morong tree, and so we'll cut this down. And like this one here is a gemelina. We'll cut this one down also. And then some of these other native species have to stay. There's another one of those haunted trees over there. And we're actually doing some chainsawing, cutting these down, and getting ready to do some burn piles. I know this area probably looks quite a bit different than when I had videoed it before when I was coming up the little creek, but yeah, we're working on getting it cleared so we can plant those falcata trees. I'm actually going to go and check out the haunted trees just to show them. Okay, and I'm back over here at another one of these haunted trees, and I am just taking a shot of it. This is a smaller one, and I don't know, there are two different kinds that they say are haunted, and they have different legend behind it. I don't know much about it. I don't get into that. I mean, it's a tree. I definitely want to preserve the endangered species on the property, and so we are keeping those. But as far as the legend, it's interesting to hear a little bit about it, but I don't take stock in the supernatural. But I don't know, I guess there's some issues where they've had all kinds of creepy things happen here. One day there was a bolt missing from the chainsaw, and then so they thought they were done chainsawing for the day, and then they found the bolt on another tree. And then there was one where they found this, they had cut a tree next to it, and then they had found a black snake coiled up on it, and he wouldn't move. And typically I don't know, a lot of the snakes here hightail it. I don't know if that's because the folks eat most of the things they come across, because they told me that one of the days I left because I had to go do paperwork stuff, and I come back I get a message that they had found a iguana, and so that's what they had for lunch. And then I actually get here, and I saw the remnants of what they had, and it turns out, I think it was a banded water monitor lizard, which I believe is endangered here, because, and for that reason, it's like if somebody sees it, it's not just a species out there that they leave. I mean, it's dinner basically. So, and I know some of the monitor lizards are actually invasive and overpopulated in some areas, but here, I mean, it's not, because it's a food source. So, and they didn't complain. I guess they liked it. I probably would have if I had known. And since now that I've looked up, if we see any more of those, but that's actually the only one I've seen here, and it was a rather large one just to be gone. But I got on a rant about the monitor lizard there, but just some of the issues with these, and even I did have a creepy experience with one of these haunted trees, because it was in an overgrown area, I'll actually go over to that one when I tell that. All right, so I'm over here making my way over to the haunted tree where I had my supernatural encounter, and I'm passing this meringue tree, and that's something I had never seen before until I had gotten here. Are meringues, and these meringues are ready on this tree, and they are need to be harvested. I'm gonna try and focus in on a couple. That's what a meringue looks like. And I don't know why. I guess I associated. I was thinking it would taste like lemon meringue for some reason. No association. No, whatever that is not even close. But like this one on the left is ready, and it's got these little, I don't even know what the projections that come off of the fruit, and when they start to spread out and get a little space in them, you know that's how you know it's ready. And it's a meringue, and it's got these little slimy pods on the inside that you just pop them off and eat them. You spit out it's got one large seed in it, and you spit that out of each of the pods. I'm gonna get in here a little close, like these little projections on it. And when they start to spread out, I don't have one that's close I can really show off. This one's kind of in the dark, but when they kind of spread out, they're ready. Like that one looks to be about ready. And these can actually get a little bit larger. They're not as big as like a jackfruit or a durian, but they do get a little bit larger than these guys. But some of these are already ready, and they're kind of small, which is good because when you get into this fruit, it's like a meal, and they say it like it can raise your blood pressure. So I don't know that that's good, but it's supposed to have some other health benefits, and it's tasty. It is tasty. I'm kind of picky. In fact, I've liked every fruit I've tried here. There's still some I need to try. In fact, I'll do a video on one of these meringues because I've got a couple that are ready that I want to eat. But I'll get back to that. Oh, and over here now, all this huge cornfield and stuff. This is not our area, but that mango tree over there, that isn't that big of a mango tree, but it had some great little mangoes on it. So let me get back over here to this. This is the haunted tree. Right here, it is huge. That is a big tree. I'm gonna get a little closer. Okay, so this is the haunted tree that I was at, and I was just coming over here to clear some weeds and some of the little saplings around it, and the weeds were pretty high, and I was just coming in clearing that, and it was kind of like I had made a deal with the haunted trees that I was going to leave them, but just to take some of the others, some of the other trees that we can take around and I was going to clear the vines off of the haunted trees too, so that way they would be maybe healthier, but I almost seem to thrive with those vines. But anyway, I was down here getting some of those weeds, and then I swung the machete, and right when I nicked one of the kind of the root things down at the base there, they extend off, and not just right at the base there. They extend out quite a bit. They've got a pretty intricate root system. I think that's what allows them to get so large. And I just nicked one of those, and then I got this bee sting, like probably the worst bee sting I've ever had. And I've been stung by more bees since I've been here in 5 months than I had been stung in the last 40 years. So, but I had gotten stung by right in the back of my neck, like boom, like right when I nicked that little vine, or the root there, as I was trimming some of the weed vines around it, and it stung me like right dead center in the back of the neck, and now I've actually got a swollen lymph node around it. I don't know if that's related or if I just had a swollen lymph node coming, but yeah. And then 3 days later, I actually dug out the stinger, and I had played with the wound for a little bit, rubbing it on the back of my neck, but like 3 days later, I actually dug out this ridiculous stinger. So that was kind of interesting. But then it was like, I think as I was cutting that, I was like, I was trimming the weeds around it, and I saw some of the roots, and I'm like, well, I was trying to be careful not to hit it, but then I accidentally nicked that one. But right before I said that, I'm like, oh, I think we both know what's happening here. I'm coming in, like I'm talking to the haunted tree people, because I've been hearing all the stories about it. And I was like this understanding. I think we both know what's happening here. I'm just trimming these weeds, and then boom, I nick the that root, and it's like he sent the bees. And yesterday I actually was again running around doing more paperwork for different things. And what did I do? I accidentally oh no, I didn't accidentally do anything. I just came back here, and the guy who was operating a chainsaw on some of these, doing some clearing over here, his face was just all blown up with bee stings. So, and I'm just trying to think. They've told me all kinds of ridiculous, and I just kind of blow off these little haunted stories. But I guess a couple of the workers they feel like they've heard screams coming from these haunted trees as they're working. And they say like this one here, like I guess some of them are darker, and then when they get like the lighter bark, I don't know if you can tell with the shadows, that's when they're actually possessed, or a spirit has taken hold or taken residence in the tree. But that's all. I'm just sharing my little experience with the haunted tree. So I basically got this. I feel like I've got this deal with these haunted trees. As long as I leave these 4 alone, that I'm okay with the haunted people. And I've got one last one I'm going to show too. And I'm making my way to the back of that haunted tree, and I just came across this view. It's ridiculous. I don't know who owns all this back here, but it is ridiculous. They've got, like, they've said, I've heard rumors that it's 40 hectares of corn planted. That's pretty crazy. And then we've got it back here. Just a kind of an amazing view. I don't even know how well this is going to show up. I'm just going to zoom in and show that off. But yeah, just folks live out there. They've got their fruit trees and their crops. And they live in got their hut, which is what I'm hoping to do at some point. We're working on it. We are working on it. So that one may be the largest of the haunted trees. I'm going to get in a little bit closer here. You know, my zoom work isn't the best. And this is my favorite for some reason of the haunted trees. It's just it's the biggest, less viney, probably the healthiest looking one. And it just towers. It's probably the largest one too. But I like it. And I mean, just the folks that we've had over here working have had all kinds of different little kind of story encounters with these haunted trees and the spirit people that are said to inhabit, that have the lore, that inhabit these trees. And that's actually my father-in-law over there. They're actually mending the fence over here. And something that actually happened with him related to one of these. This happened many years ago, is that they were, him and his brother were walking along, and they had seen a chicken up in one of these haunted trees, a black chicken up in one of these haunted trees. And they decided they wanted to go up and get the chicken, because that's, and probably have a meal of it. So they went, his brother went up in the tree to get the chicken and didn't find the chicken. The chicken, I guess, vanished on them, and they didn't find it. And then as his brother was coming down the tree, he fell out of the tree, and fell onto a branch and was pierced in the anus and did not. So I guess the weird thing with that story is, though, that he didn't puncture his underwear or his pants, but I don't know. I guess with the right angle, it could go up through the side of the shorts or whatever. But anyway, his brother did end up dying from that injury a couple days later, which is pretty rough. So I would imagine that yeah, these haunted trees hold some sort of significance with something like that happening to you. But, and that's it. I just wanted to show off these haunted trees. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe.